Happy Summers, Rams fans. I'm Scott Day with studentathletes.com, joined by Jon Riley, recently named head coach of men's track and field, as well as his role with the women's track and field program. Coach, you're getting the head coach for both programs at a fairly young age. What does this mean to you personally to get this opportunity to take over a whole track and field program?
Well, it's a huge accomplishment, and I take every challenge as it comes. And the age thing, if I was a head coach at 29, I would still take on the same responsibilities and try hard every day. It's the usual. I mean, we just had a separate program. Everyone else have full combined programs, and I just think it's typical to me. So I don't feel the extra burden of having guys. Just a good challenge for me.
People don't know, Coach Riley was a two-star athlete at Southeast Missouri State, played football and track. Going through the rigors of Division I sports as well as being a student, has that helped you relate to the student athletes? Do you think that's somewhat of an advantage you may have on other people?
Yeah, I think as far as the age component, I think it is an advantage. At my age, they can't get by with most of the stuff that they would probably get away with someone older. I pretty much communicate with them on their level, and during the times I have to be that father figure. But I don't know how much of an advantage it is. I know recruiting, it's pretty much, it's sometimes when you walk in the homes of parents and they see a young man, they have to ask more questions and kind of it drilled me a little more than that if I was a little older. But like I said, I'm prepared when I go in there, so I think I have a little bit of an advantage. I will always think I have an advantage. So
when it comes to that recruiting process, for people that don't know, what is kind of your coaching philosophy and how you approach each day with your student athletes?
Well, as far as recruiting, everyone wants the best athletes. I typically go after at least 4 athletes from whatever scholarship that I have, and within that group of 4, I try to learn as much about them as I possibly can, figure out who the decision maker is, who influences their decisions, and I pretty much like to see them compete. I hate signing kids without seeing them compete, just looking at their times on the internet. So I go after the best kids, and when you find out more about their academic, their family history, it gives you more of an assessment as to how they will be on the team. So basically, I go after the best athletes. I don't, just because I'm at DCU doesn't mean I can't go after the #1 girl in the nation. So I try hard to go after the best kids, but I also believe in developing kids. Kids that are not there yet on the Division I level, but can train to get there. So, my philosophy is really that.
As far as your new role with the men's track and field, you've done a really good job with the turnaround, pretty quick turnaround with the women's track and field program. What is kind of your mentality now that you have the men's? Is it any different, or do you have goals right away with the men's program?
Well, the same goals I have for the women. I want to at least be in the top 3 of the conference within 3 years of the men. I think I can get there a little faster with the men because they're not far off at all. I want to change things around a little bit. It's been more of a distance-oriented program. I want to be well-rounded. I want to have throwers, distance, middle distance, and of course sprinters and jumpers. So I want to be well-rounded and really good at each component. We may not be as deep, but if I get really good kids in each component, in each event area, I think we can be really successful.
You've been a couple months into the transition. You have a really decent group of guys coming back with Antonio and D'Angelo and guys like that. How has the transition been with the new head coach with those guys?
Well, the transition has been smooth. The guys come to me every day. They've bought into the way I do things. They see us every day at practice, and we did things a little different. So they've bought into it. They think it's a good thing. And the women, on the other hand, had a little hesitation about it at first, but I think overall they believe that the guys can actually help them by being a combined program. But the transition has been smooth. The guys are talking to the girls over the summer to get the warm-up down properly and how we do things. So I think it's pretty smooth.
You mentioned with the women having some hesitation. Is there any challenge there that you see coming? I guess it may lie ahead.
No, I don't see any challenges. We're going to do things one way, and it's going to be the right way. And they've bought into it. They've had conversations about it already, and I think they've already had relationships with the guys. We just did things separately. So I think they thought the guys may come in and ruffle their feathers a little bit and not be as disciplined, but that won't happen on this watch. So it'll be straightforward, and we're going to have fun.
Thanks, Coach Riley. Stay tuned to VCUathletics.com.